Hey guys, what's up? Yep, as you can probably tell by the title, she already dropped part 2 today. That's right, Michelle, aka Dizzy Arts, that's Dezzie Arts, dropped part 2 of her Christmas special for Metamorphosed to Malleability. Her reasoning being is that she's not going to be probably around this week, of course, because of the holidays. So she wants to get, something out before, it's too late. And because Christmas is this Sunday, why not get it out basically the Monday before? And I will say this, the story is quite interesting. The continuation, as you said, is quite interesting because what happens is it kind of continues where part 1 left off. Basically, it takes place a few hours later. Crystal wakes up and notices that her fiance, Briella, is not using her powers to cover her anymore. That she's basically lying in bed, regularly. If you kind of see what I'm saying. She kind of notices, she's lying in bed regularly. And she notices that, she gets up, and I guess she gets up only after a few hours of sleep. She gets about, according to what they say here, about 4 hours of sleep. But she gets up, again, noticing that her fiance is not using her powers to cover her, and she decides she's going to go and, I guess you could say start Christmas early to see what her fiance, left for her. Basically what the present is. And so she goes into the living room, basically, notices how it's decorated to the point that it looks like something out of an actual Christmas movie, with the lights and music and everything. But then she goes over to the table where the present's at. Now remember, Briella did not, she did not use her powers to make herself the box. She did not do that. Instead, she used a regular box, but what was inside it was part of herself, a major part. And when Crystal opens it up, and I like what Michelle does here, Dizzy Arts does here, she kind of takes her time getting to it, or getting to the opening of the present. Basically going over like how Crystal is admiring how nice the box looks, and the ribbon, the detail on it, and the detail on the ribbon and everything. And she even has Crystal take it from the kitchen table to the sofa. So anyway, after all that, Crystal does open it up, and what she notices is a lamp. Basically, and it's not like a lamp that you turn on and everything, like let's say a miniature leg lamp a la Christmas Story. No, nothing like that. What she finds in the box is basically a replica of a magic lamp. The kinds with genies in them. Or in this case, dins, if you will. Or lady genies at a bottle, or whatever the case is. Well, basically, Crystal looks at the lamp. She takes the lamp out and looks at it, and is just still, even though she's been with Briella long enough to know what her fiance's powers are capable of, it still really just blows her mind. It just really blows her mind at how far her fiance's powers have come and can go. And in this case, she takes an admiration out of the fact that basically this lamp is made of her fiance. So out of curiosity, she rubs it. Now, before I get into what happens next, there was a note that Briella had left for Crystal that said, "Your every wish," or something like this, is something along the lines of, "Your wish is my command," or "Your every wish is my command," or something like that. Anyway, she, like I said, she opens the box, notices the lamp in there, and then decides to rub it. And then what happens next is really astonishing, because all of a sudden, what looks like to be, purple smoke and everything, starts to emanate out of the lamp, out of the nozzle of the lamp. And it really, like I said, it really surprises Briella, not Briella, but Crystal. It really surprises Crystal, at this, sight that she's seen, and because again, she's amazed at how far her fiance's powers have come. Briella's powers have come. That, she's just curious, like, how far has she really come now? Was she able to, all of a sudden decide, hey, I'm going to, change myself into mist, or into smoke and vapor and all that? And out of curiosity, she does poke at the mist, at the smoke, and finds out that it's still very subtly still kind of ooze-like, basically still kind of goo-like, if you will, thus giving her the idea that her fiance, hasn't gotten there yet, but she's gotten far enough to where she can mimic it. She can mimic it to be, a close facsimile. Anyway, she starts noticing the mist going all around, and out of the mist, she sees the silhouette of a woman start to form. Start to form, basically the Dinge, the female genie. She starts noticing it start to form, and then when it's all said and done, she sees this female genie in front of her, although she knows it's her fiance. But she does play along with it, because Briella's basically taken up, the role of like I said, a Dinge, a female genie. And even Briella is kind of impressed by it, because of the way that the Dinge is, talks and acts and looks, and she knows it's her fiance. But again, it amazes her how far she's come with the powers, to the point that even her, other human-like disguises seem to be so different, than what she's, used to the point that Briella basically becomes an entirely new person, which, mind you, is not something new to Briella if you've read some of the earlier stories in the series. Now, with that said, Briella as a Dinge, acting like completely, different than what she normally does, because she's in this role, and she introduces herself as, I think, Aisha or something like that, and then she tells Crystal, you have 3 wishes, but she can only do what her powers allow her to do, basically playing along the line, basically saying that, she can only grant Crystal the wish, certain wishes to an extent, because she's not, as powerfully experienced as other dinges, other genies, if you will, out there. But it's all, but by also saying this, Briella is kind of reminding Crystal, in character, that hey, you can ask me for anything, you want. You can ask me for anything you want, but it all depends on how far I can go with my powers. Because she's already realizing, that being Briella, that she does have limitations. That she can spread herself for just so far before she can't spread no more. Anyway, like I said, Briella in character as this Isha, Isha female genie, says that Crystal has 3 wishes and that she doesn't have to rush into using them. And even Crystal's like, so, like, I can use these whenever I want and everything. And Briella as Isha says, yeah, you can use these wishes at any time. Just take your time with it. So, just out of curiosity to see how really far her fiance's powers have developed, Crystal asked Isha, quote unquote, who is Briella, to take her inside her lamp. She wants to see the inside of the lamp, which Briella Isha does. She grants that wish, turns back into a facsimile of the smoke and everything she materialized from, and takes her, quote unquote, into the lamp with her. And it's from there that when they're inside, if you will, that she notices how very well decorative the inside of the quote unquote lamp is and all that. And then she also notices it has a lot of pillows, which of course, if you've seen a lot of cartoons or movies and stuff with people being able to see the inside of a genie's lamp, you'll notice that it's always full of pillows and everything. So it's always full of pillows and everything, to make the genie and whoever's in there with them comfortable. Anyway, Crystal, upon looking around, notices a bed with the outline of Isha, Briella, laying on it. But the thing is, she's not wearing her clothes, because what she wore when she appeared out of the lamp was kind of like a purple outfit or something like that. And now she's not wearing anything. And that's when things start to get a little bit more, I guess you could say, frisky and intimate with them, with Aisha, Briella kind of starting it a little bit, and then Crystal kind of taking control, even to the point that Crystal, puts or lays Isha, Briella down on the bed and starts going to town, if you know what I mean. Even to the point that she basically takes a deep breath and submerges her head completely between the two upper regions, the bosom area, if you will, of Isha, Briella. And it's even at the point that after she pulls her head out, she takes, a little bit of a nibble in that area, on the right side of the area, and starts contemplating, because the way she's, pushing, eating at it, or chewing at it, or biting at it, it's like bubble gum, being pulled, because it's very mandible. She starts contemplating, I know my fiance has been inside me before, but only on limited occasions, to sit, in certain areas. I wonder what would happen if I, swallowed a piece of her. Like if I ate like a piece of her and had it go down my stomach and reside within me. She kind of wonders that and contemplates whether or not, Crystal, Briella would take up residence in there, like a part of her take up residence in there. And you know, that to me, when she's wondering, I wonder if I was to, eat a part of Briella, if she would, go down into my stomach, reside in there, what would happen? That to me, even though this is a Christmas special, that to me right there is another hint that I think Crystal's going to end up getting the same powers as Briella. I don't know why. Anyway, though, long story short, after they've had their fun, Crystal decides to take a nap, and it's here where Briella basically uses her powers to change everything back. Take Crystal back to the bedroom, as a bed herself on, that has wheels on it, and then she decides to melt. Then after she makes sure Crystal is laid back down in the bed, and still kind of residing within her, she melts basically into a plastine veneer, kind of a blanket, if you will, to cover both her and Crystal, as they rest. But overall, besides that, it was a cute little story, cute little second part conclusion. I mean, honestly, if she wanted to go a little further, I think Michelle could have. I think if she would have had accounts on Newgrounds or Ink Bunny or Fur Finny, she could have gone a lot further. But hey, what we got, I thought was pretty good. And to me, is a taste of what's to come with the Fur Convention arc of the ongoing series. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are on the special. I'll provide links down below. And until then, I am home now, guys. And I will talk to you later. God bless. Take care. And Merry Christmas, Michelle. Thank you for the stories.